Welcome, friends, to another exciting episode of A VGM Journey, and I'm your host, The Messenger. The track that we're playing in this week's show is Time to Learn from the game Kirby Superstar, and it was composed by Jun Ishikawa and Dan Miyakawa. Like always, I've got a fun show for you guys, but before we get into that, I just wanted to go through a little bit of top of the show business. And I want to say that about a week or so ago, I made a call out to the VGM Journey Discord looking for some springtime requests. And I was expecting just a couple responses maybe, but I wound up getting so many responses that I'm not going to be able to play every request on this week's show, but I am planning on sprinkling them in to the next few episodes here and there. So if you don't hear your request on this episode, don't worry, it might appear on the next one. And I say, let's kick things off with a request from Rage Cage, the host of VG Emporium. And he wanted me to play the track Itadakimasu Sushi Shop from the game No More Heroes 3. And it was composed by Nobuaki Kaneko, Jun Fukuda, and Kazuhiro Abo.
I'ma stack it up, yeah. Better rice, I lay it down, then I nap it up. I'm on a roll when I'm macking up, yeah. Hey, roll it like a bowling ball. Hey, want seafood and beef, oh, pick and hold it all. Do what I never been below the law. Took a bite, and the nori went and gave my soul a call. Yeah, sushi, okay. Save and slash with my path, I don't have time for clearly. I got LPs to make, I guess the haters didn't hear me. If you not about the job, you shouldn't get near me. Assassins fear me, my katana turn them to the kill. Killers turn to Tommy when they try to stop me. Sushi soldier, this became more than a hobby. Flames of passion burning hotter than wasabi. Not gonna stop till I'm number one, better tell somebody, hold up. Back to piling up the bodies, hold up. My katana's hungry, so your time is over. I don't find y'all entertaining it. Maybe I don't know what entertainment is. I'm broke and it seemed pay to win. I'ma try to meditate again. I don't wanna have to set it straight again. If you're not trying to elevate us in, take your time and find a better way to spin. Yeah. And this happened to this integrated. What's the energy they drain, they bring pain to pinch. Lame boy, you will leave from the lich. Yeah. Alright, King Lynch, my rap to benefit. I'm a hero, what you wearing just a bit. Pack it up. Aliens trying to meet me. I just stand over me and ET. Game of all name is a repeat. I'm the predator, I will defeat them my natural enemies. Plus, restore your memory. Your D-League never wanted to be seen on TV. Young grasshopper wanna be free. Throwing nothing but dudes in the anime posters. Killing for silver, you're trying to get closer. Number one, but I feel like a poser. Had to take a break and do it all over. Now I got bodies of we're feeling bolder. Murder me, getting me hard as a boulder. Ever since no photo was full of cold and frozen. Just like my heart on my shoulder.
That track that you just heard, that was Itadakimasu Sushi Shop from the game No More Heroes 3, and it was composed by Nobuaki Kaneko, Jun Fukuda, and Kazuhiro Abo, and this was a request by Rage Cage, so thank you, Rage Cage, for that request. That was a really fun track. Definitely a kind of track that grabs your attention right away with that synth, so I thought that was really cool. And I'm not really sure what the context is for it, just because I've never played the game. So to be honest, I'm not sure if this is either a location theme Or weirdly, I think it could also be a boss theme of sorts too. So I know that in the No More Heroes games, you fight a lot of different unique bosses and they're all pretty wacky in some way and I don't know. Like I oddly feel as though this could be a boss theme of sorts and that it could take place in this sushi shop that the song's all about. And I do want to say that towards the end, you hear the what I like to call the No More Heroes theme sprinkled in, which is really cool. So I just want to once again say thank you, Rage Cage, for that track. I think I want to switch gears from something with a lot of energy to something very calming for this next track. And this is coming from the game Final Fantasy X. This is the Besaid Islands. It was composed by Masashi Hamauzu, and this was a request by Captain Teeth. track that you just listened to, that was Besaid Island from the game Final Fantasy X. It was composed by Masashi Hamauzu, and this was a request by Captain Teeth. So thank you, Captain Teeth, for that request. All Captain Teeth had to say about the track was maybe too summary, but this track comes in my head when I'm walking in the woods sometimes. Well, Captain Teeth, I do agree with you that it does kind of have like a summer vibe to it, but I also feel as though it can fit spring as well, just because of its more dreamlike quality to it. And I think just like walking through the woods, you can get lost in this song. And I'm not going to lie, I think this might be the best song on the Final Fantasy X soundtrack. Despite never playing the game, I've heard quite a bit of the music, and it's a really good soundtrack. And there are a handful of other songs I could say that are the best, but I always really like listening to this track. So I just want to say once again, Captain Teeth, thank you for that track. We're going to go back in time for this next track, and this is a request from Bedroth, one of the hosts of BG Mania, and he wanted me to play a track from the game Wiz and Liz. This is Woodland, and this track was composed by Matt Furniss. That track that you just heard, that was Woodland from the game Wiz and Liz. It was composed by Matt Furniss, and this was a request by Bedroth. So thank you, Bedroth, for that request. Just recently on BG Mania, Bedroth and Brian released an episode that focused on the music of Matt Furniss. And it was a really good episode, which had me think about how much I liked Matt Furniss's music without really thinking about liking his music. I know that's a bit odd to say, but I just didn't realize how much I liked his music. And even hearing some new stuff that I wasn't familiar with before, including this track, that I think he's got to be up there as one of the best, especially with his work on the Genesis. So I know that Pugsy is another Genesis soundtrack that I really like from him. And I do really like this track, despite it not doing anything super out of the normal for Matt Furniss. So I don't know, you just kind of listen to it and you're like, yeah, it's got that Matt Furniss sound to it, which is not a bad thing at all. I think it's quite the opposite. I think this is really good. And just looking at the cover of the game, I could tell that it's definitely a fantasy type of deal where there's a wizard and there's also this girl character on the cover. I'm assuming that's Liz. And it just seems like it's a real good time. So I just want to say once again, thank you, Bedroth, for that request. We're going to move on to something a bit more relaxing. And this is coming from the game Leisure Suit Larry 6. The track is Health Spa, and this was composed by Dan Kehler. That track that you just heard, that was Health Spa from the game Leisure Suit Larry 6, and it was composed by Dan Kehler. And that's going to just about do it for the show this week. If you like what you've been listening to, have your friends check out the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever podcasting service that you can think of. I'm more than likely going to be on there. You can email the show at vgmjourney@yahoo.com, and you could also check us out on Twitter at vgmjourney. We also have a Discord server for the show, which I will provide a link for that in the show notes, where you can hang out with your fellow VGM journeymen and talk about games, music, and even look at some cool art. We're also going to play things out with one more track, and this is a bit of a classic. This is the credits theme from Pebble Beach Golf Links, and it was composed by Yumi Kinoshita. Have a good week, everyone.